Pleased to be joined now by Silverbacks assistant coach Carter Cochrane following a very exciting finish, a 2-1 overtime win tonight, Saturday night. Backs taking down the Vernon Vipers. First off, Carts, the finish. Let's just go right to the ending to get the second straight overtime win for you guys. What was the bench like, and how excited are the guys?
I was too busy writing down the timely goal and the pluses and minuses. I didn't get to see the reaction, but I can imagine. I saw Logan Shaw in the hallway right after the game ended, and I think his expression said it all. Just the excitement, and it's obviously guys are excited to win. To end on a note like that, a little bit of a bold play by Sully there, but Shatsy put it. Showtime Sully got the job done. So. He's an unbelievable player. He's got so much talent that, I think guys like Owen Say came up to me after the game and said, right when he crossed the blue line, I knew he was going backhand to a drag 5-hole. So I think it's one that guys on our team have seen quite a bit from him. I don't think anyone was too surprised to see him pull it off. Might have made the coaching staff a little bit nervous there, but win's a win and a goal's a goal, so we'll take it for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about the game then. Let's go through it because obviously, yet again, it was tight. You guys had a great first period. Can you talk about that opening frame and maybe sticking with it or trying to, and what worked in that first?
Yeah, I think we've been really finding our game here over the first four and kind of figuring out what works for us. And we've had a lot of time together over these few months, but it's never the same as game action, and we look different than we did at the end of the preseason. So it was kind of expected for us. I wouldn't say it's a slow start, but just kind of a feeling out process of guys getting to know each other, their line mates, a little bit of chemistry. We juggle the lines a little bit throughout the games, and starting to feel like we've kind of settled into something that we can at least have a little bit of consistency, maybe not quite every line every night, but definitely kind of pairs of guys that are going to work together. And there's just a lot of urgency from our group in that first period. We talked about wanting to get off to a good start. Obviously, catching them on a back-to-back, having played yesterday, we knew that we might have a little bit of fresher legs there, but we also wanted to make sure that they weren't able to generate any momentum early. And I think we did a really good job of that in the first period. The first 15 minutes, I think we really dominated on the shot clock and had some chances, a couple of posts and a crossbar there where we could have maybe generated a goal or two lead there, which would have been huge. But the thing that we can't be surprised by is the pushback that we get from those guys. They're well coached. They're a veteran group. They've got guys with major junior experience, guys with 2-3 years of BCHL experience. So not to jump ahead there, but I really liked our start in our first period, and it's something that we can kind of hopefully build off of in games moving forward.
Yeah, we don't have to talk much about the second. You said it, like there was the pushback from them, and after 40 minutes, it's 0-0 anyway. So let's talk about the second intermission, what you guys have to focus on going into the third, because you eventually, for the fifth straight game, you score the game's first goal. So what was said in that second intermission, and is it something like, let's get the first again?
It's 0-0 after two. It's definitely a race to see who can score first. I think it was just a little bit of our group kind of discussing what went on in the first that maybe didn't happen in the second. And, I think that the one thing that can set in when you're playing a team on a back-to-back is you give them the benefit of the doubt, they're tired. And, if they're tired in the first period, obviously they're going to be tired in the second period. And I don't think that was the case with Vernon tonight. Just like I don't think we're going to be tired tomorrow when we play. I think that we're in great shape. We've had a lot of time to work here. And at this point, the amount of time off guys have had, the adrenaline takes over. And if a team comes out a little bit slow in the first period, you can't really expect that to continue throughout the game, especially in an atmosphere like this pod where you're playing the same teams over and over again. And, I think that first goal was huge for us to get it early in that period. And, it's a tight checking game. I thought both teams played really good defensively. For a low-scoring game, it wasn't low-event hockey. It was just kind of two teams that were playing hard, good, solid defensively. There wasn't a lot of grade A chances in tight for either team. And, their power play got them back in it and tied the game up. And I think that we did a good job of just making sure that we weren't taking unnecessary risks to, try to end it in regulation. And obviously we wanted to do that. We wanted to not give them that extra point. We've kind of been handing those out a little bit too loosely lately. And it was good. We found a way to make sure we got it to overtime. And, I think we've kind of built a little bit of confidence in that extra frame. And let's just hope that we don't have to go back there too much.
So it's 1-1, for most of the third then after the two early goals. You said obviously you don't want to be giving away that point. It's in division. You're only playing these two teams. But so what is the goal? Like, do you feel like this game getting to overtime was not great? You guys wanted to finish it. What's kind of the feel when it's 1-1 in that third? You're pushing, but you want to be safe. Like, what's the thinking when it's 1-1 in a tight checking game like that late?
Well, so for us, it's just all about the process. And, I think that's kind of the message after our first period was, hey, we didn't get rewarded for it. Let's make sure we keep playing that style, keep playing that same, do the things that make us successful. And, I think that's kind of the message too when you get late in the game. Like, we have ways that we can generate offense. We know how to do that without having to cheat for it. And we want to just keep that kind of structured and disciplinedness to our game, no matter what the score is. And whether we get down early or we get up early or whatever the situation may be, we have a style of hockey that we want to play. And, through the first 5 games, I think you can look at it and you've seen some low scoring affairs. We've had more than a few games where we score 1 goal or just 2. And that's not the style of hockey we're trying to play. We're not trying to be a defensive shutdown type of team, but what we're trying to do is build a recipe for sustainable success. And there's going to be nights where if you cheat for offense and you jump by guys, you're going to get those bounces, you're going to get those odd man rushes, and it's going to feel great. But then the next night, you're not going to get those bounces, and you're going to be sitting there looking for answers. And we're not trying to be a 50-50 hockey team or a team where you go into every game, well, if we get the bounces tonight, we're going to win. We're trying to build a style of play that other teams have to adjust to us, and that's a style that doesn't matter if it's 1-1 with 5 minutes left in the third or 0-0 at the start of the game. It's a style that we want to dictate the tempo. We want to dictate how the other team responds to us, and we want to make people adjust to us. So, I think that the mentality of our group, the stronger we get here, the more consistency you're going to see in that, and it's going to lead to more offense for sure. And I don't think that this is something we're worried about in terms of scoring goals, but we're really happy with how we're playing defensively.
Let's talk about a few of the performances today. Got to start with Sullivan Mac. I guess one thing I'm wondering is Simon Tassi. Head coach Tyler Shattuck, he said, he stuck with it and he didn't change his game. He wasn't getting rewarded early, and he stuck with it. And then last game, he was rewarded. Has it been similar with Sullivan Mac, where he gets the 2 goals today? He's been getting tons of chances, but his game hasn't changed, sticks with it, and gets rewarded. Do you think that's the case with Mac?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think, Sully's 20 years old. He's a hell of a talent, and he's going to Cornell for a reason, but this is still his 8th PCHL game, if I'm not mistaken. And, that's still very, very new to the league and new to the style of play and his teammates. And, he's a guy that I think we see him every day, and we think that he can score a goal every shift, and it's not something that you can expect out of somebody. But I think he does a great job of staying with that on his first one there. It's a little bit of a broken play on the 2-on-1, and there's no flyby, there's no I'll wait for the next one. He bears down and he's able to get a goal in a dirty area. And when you have a shot and you can skate like the way he does in his hands, sometimes that's where you got to go to score. It doesn't matter how good you are. And I think you bring up Simon Tassi, and he's done a lot for getting Sully going here too. Like, you talk about the fact that his play hasn't changed, and if our guys are paying close enough attention, and we've made points of it too. Like, Simon's a guy that guys should be looking at right now and seeing how you can get rewarded for the things you're doing. And Cam Recky's a guy that I felt like kind of took that upon himself tonight too. He was full energy, his feet were moving, he had a lot of sustained zone time in the offensive zone, and he didn't get rewarded for it tonight. In the last couple of games, he's been able to get on the score sheet. And, I just think it's important for our guys to understand that you're not going to score every game. Some nights it's going to be another guy who has to do it, and if we can play that kind of team style, and we can kind of all work together, and we're just going to kind of have a rotating cast of guys who are going to be able to get rewarded for it. You look at our wins lately and the tight games we've been playing, and it's Danny Panetta with a hat trick, then it's Noah Serdachny with 2, and now it's Sully with 2. And we're not getting a ton of offense, but we are getting it from different places, and it does give us a lot of confidence that moving forward here, once we get everybody kind of rolling together, we're going to have a team that can beat you offensively and defensively.
Let's talk a little bit about Owen Say. Right before the Mac goal, he makes a big save in the overtime, most important save of the game. He stopped, I guess, in the end, I think it was 32 of 33. He's just so calm in the net. What'd you see from him tonight?
Yeah, and the comment I'm about to make is not to take anything away from Owen. It's actually a compliment. It's just going to come out a little bit weird. It didn't look like he played a great game tonight. And I mean that from a sense that, like you said, he was calm, he was cool, he didn't have to move a lot in the net. He was just great positionally, and he just made the game look easy. And, I think if you're just a casual fan watching and you see like, oh, wow, it's a lot of saves and, but it didn't look like he had to work very hard. But you start to really look into the, where their shots came from, where their chances did, some of the things he had to do off tips and screens. And, he just made it look so easy tonight, and that kind of calmness to his game. And it really leaks out to our whole team. And we have a guy like that who's really starting to find his game now and getting comfortable with the league and the team. And, he's got the resume he has for a reason. And you look at what he was able to do out east last year and playing for Team Canada East, like those things don't happen on accident. And we were very, very, very happy to get him when we did. And we saw all the work he put in through the fall, winter, and spring for us here. And I just think it's something that Silverbacks fans and our players are going to be able to expect for the rest of this pod and into next year as well. He's just a very mature and just like I said, he's just very comfortable in that. And yeah, it was a great game for Owen, and I think it just kind of gives us a lot of confidence in him.
Lastly here, West Kelowna, of course, is the next opponent. Another game. It'll be the fourth game in 5 days, and they did not play tonight. They did not play yesterday. So going into Sunday, is there 2 keys, maybe 3, that you can give us for Sunday's game?
I'll have to think long and hard on this. I like this whole Time Travelers broadcast routine you got going where you're trying to figure out which day you're supposed to be talking about. So a little bit of comic relief. But yeah, I mean, we're getting to a point here where, we're going to know these guys very, very well. And, it's there's going to be teams are going to make adjustments and we're going to tweak things as we go here. But, I think we know what to expect from these guys. And it's 4 games in 5 nights, the schedule that we have, there's no excuses right now. It's a little bit unique and it's different, but after this, we've got 13 and 21 to finish the month off. And, it's easy. You just see what's going on in the NHL. Even Vancouver's got 19 games in 30 days to finish. Like everyone's been dying to play hockey right now. And, we're very, very lucky to have that opportunity. And, I think that we're going to have to obviously, keys wise tomorrow, obviously getting off to a good start is going to be huge. Let them know that we're not tired. We've been training for this all year and our guys are in great shape. And there's going to have to be a simplicity to our game. There's going to be fatigue as it goes along, but I think that the way that we've been playing, we've been able to roll over all 4 lines very consistently in all 6D, and to be able to do that makes the fatigue a lot less when you move into these games. And so I think if we can get off to a good start and we can kind of get after them early and let them know that we're not going to be a fatigued team. And our special teams, we lost the special teams battle tonight. It didn't end up hurting us, but it obviously gave Vernon an extra point. So I thought our power play did some good things tonight, but there's going to be a few tweaks that we want to try to see, different things that's going to help us get a little bit more success there. And penalty kill wise, we did a great job in zone, just gave up kind of one off the rush there. And if we're able to kind of clean up those areas of our game, it should give us a really good chance to have success. And it's a confident group right now. We've got points in 3 straight now, and we're playing these guys hard. And it's going to be kind of a playoff atmosphere going forward the more we play these guys. And animosity growing between every team, and I think it's just a matter of channeling that the right way and being able to use that to our advantage. And if we can do that, we're going to be fine.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks.